This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana.
Morning, y'all. Welcome down to Livewire. Sorry for the late start. I was on time and I was looking at some video I wanted to share with you from Linden yesterday. I was in Linden and it was only then I noticed that you guys ever thought you're taking a video? I was really a photograph. Like you in your mind think you recorded a video and then turns out to be a photograph. So that was a bit I know how I'm processing that one. Anyway, morning to you guys. Welcome down to Livewire. It is the 12th of January. And guys, in the public service, 5 more days. 5 more days, right? We get into it, people. Don't fight. Shout out to Anthony Wong joining us from France. Big up yourself, Anthony. Chris, good morning to you. Takur, good morning to you. Joan Abidjan, Vina Ramkaran, good morning to you. Rayad Ali, morning to you. Yes, Deandra, TikTok auntie, that is in Monrepo. Same area, same thing, right? Don't fret up. Wazim, morning. Dial, morning to you. Welcome down to the program. Tulsi Ram Chetty, good morning to you. Special good morning to Miss Eunice Ragubir. Good morning, and I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful January so far. Good morning to Miss Ram Charan. Pam Singh, good morning to you. What's going on in the garden? Soma Bipas, morning. Sherwin Siram, good morning to you. Mukesh Vishnudat, Ian Gil Ian, Vishram Patrick, Chitra Sukraj, Rennie Pasad. And the reason I'm flipping y'all back on the screen, somebody tell me as be calling random names. These are people not on the live. Mohammed, morning. Sally Jones, big up yourself. Cecil Rampasad. Parshram Kishore, morning to you. Jag Narain, Jag Mohan, good morning to you. Derek Dripal, good morning. Lynette Cornelius, morning to you. I think Lynette from Linden, you know. I should have showed you yesterday, Lynette. I was in Linden yesterday. Jasmine Baldio, big up yourself. Daniel Aswim, morning. Omar Sharif joining us from Queens. Neil Ramlukan, Data Nandalal, Pasad Pati, who going on in KT? Dio Nanan Suku, good morning to you. Ronald Martindale, big up yourself. Carla Thomas, good morning to you. Desiree Byung, good morning. Jane from St. Martin, thank you for being on the program. Happy New Year to you. Really great to see you out here today. Jane, today we're talking about we're gonna be doing a little reshuffling. So don't fight up. We're here. Geetan Ryan, morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Zaza Ali, I like this name, Zaza. Paul Spencer, good morning to you. Keith Benjamin, Maureen Razio, big up yourself. Always happy to see you here. Annette Ramdial, good morning. And Krista Kurprasad, good morning. Always here. Thank you for joining us on the live this morning. Sunita Sukraj, morning to you as well. Guys, so we were slated to have Dr. Ryan Richards here this morning from the Linden Town Council. However, he is sick. He got flu or something. He got the flu or something. So he is unable to appear, right? However, he should be on during the week. Also, next week we will be having sorry about that. Yeah, so yeah, so I was in London yesterday doing some work, and it was really good to see all the things happening up there along the highway as you travel up to Linden, and it shows that Guyana is moving forward, despite what you might be hearing in certain corners. Now, it is clear that there is development on the government side, but we see, because of an enabling environment, because of an enabling environment, the private sector is encouraged to invest, and there are avenues for them to seek funding to invest in expanding the landscape and developing the landscape of Guyana. So it was really good, and it made me feel positive in relation to what's happening now based on what I saw. And when was the last time I was in Linden? I haven't been to Linden for the year. But I think I was in Linden. I can't remember the last time I was in Linden by. It had to be early last year. I was in Linden, and I didn't make a trip up since until yesterday. And along the highway, the development that you're seeing, you can literally, on the highway, as you drive, look to your left and your right and see housing schemes that have been developed out there. Like, you're seeing so many things happening, and that's along the Suicide Linden Highway, and in Linden itself, a lot of development and that kind of thing going on. So yesterday we had the press conference by the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, and we also learned about the reshuffling of the shadow cabinet. And I say to Aubrey Norton, to what end? Like, you're reshuffling them to do what? I think you probably need to replace, not reshuffle. Because I think the behavior that has been exhibited by most of the opposition MPs will transition to their new portfolios, right? You think moving David Patterson from oil and gas and reshuffling him to infrastructure can make him make more sense? It's gonna stop you from pissing on fences, walking around the place drunk, um, being almost as hypocritical as the Guyanese hypocrite. David Patterson comes from the party that offered up the minister that signed the oil contract. Trotman and Patterson are one. I mean, and that's to show you how, and then I got to say, it shows you how not logical the PNC is. Why would I want to put Patterson there, knowing fully well his party just causes us to get cussed daily by people, despite how Kitron News might want to deflect or remove the blame from the opposition, who was in government at the time and signed off on this contract that has us in the current situation that we're in. They got Glenn Lalfroff in at the mouth for ring fencing and a stupidness. Lynette Cornelius, his advisor is Elson Lowe. You understand? So let's deal with the reshuffling first. Then we can go to the GS's press conference, because that there is a little extensive. So Norton defended the recent reshuffling of opposition shadow portfolios, stating that it is aimed at enhancing the efficiency of the opposition's participation in the parliament. Now, that first section there, I have some issue with that. For you to enhance efficiency, right? For you to enhance efficiency, you would have had to be efficient in the first place. You would have had to be efficient in the first place. Now, all I'm saying is, can anybody give us an example of how the opposition has been efficient since going into their true role, being in the opposition, or returning to their true role in the opposition, right? How have they been efficient? What have they done to probe the government to doing something they probably didn't want to do, or making an investment in something that they had on the back burner? Anybody could tell me? I'm interested in finding out. How does this include? You have to be efficient first before you can increase efficiency or enhance it. So imagine, due to your inefficiencies, you were voted out of office after one term in government, right? Now, mind you, this is after the population had 23 years of the PVP. In those 23 years, you would have commented on all sorts of things, all kind of worries, all things to do in the people, all kind of things. You got everything to say. And those people decided that, hey, whatever we were going through for 23 years, this is better than what we're dealing with for these 5 years that we had, y'all. We're going back to the 23, right? That is how inefficient the PNC, APNU, AFC were as a government. That after 23 years of the PVP and only 5 years of the PNC, and all the accusations the PNC made against the PVP, extrajudicial killing, Prattville, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, friends, family, favorite. They like black people. They left Linden to suffer. all the accusations that they made, the majority of the population said, hey, we will go back to what we had for 23 years. Because this 5 years, hey, mama, it didn't make sense. You understand? You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So you could imagine how bad the 5 years was for it to erase, according to them, 23 years of PPPC administration that was allegedly so terrible. A big shout out to Miss Stephanie Renata Nelson Moore. Somebody comment and push up your name. I almost get tired. I ain't seeing anyway. Trouble. Yeah, but morning to you. Welcome to the live. I'm looking for another Nelson to join in as well. But I ain't seeing them. So, like I was saying, that should speak volumes to you, right? About what took place in those 5 years, right? And we're not even talking about what we know publicly. You got to understand that these things have to affect people on a personal level because your vote is your personal choice, right? So it had to affect them personally for them to say, no, to hell with this. We gone. No, Norton emphasized that since becoming the leader of the opposition, since barely becoming the leader of the opposition, I can add barely, right? Since barely becoming the leader of the opposition, he has been reviewing potential changes to the portfolio of his parliamentarians. And I dare say to Mr. Norton, I say this to Mr. Norton as well. Your parliamentarians have been reviewing your portfolio as well, right? Because in the new dispensation, they have not included you. You understand me? You understand me, sir? In the new dispensation, they have not included you. Big up Nirmala Allen joining us from Barbados, Jasmine Baldio, Data Nandalal, Paul Joseph. We moving, brother. Whole form. That bridge can get started out. I spoke to the counselor, and as a matter of fact, I spoke to 2 counselors and a contractor yesterday, and they should be around there soon to remedy that situation, right? So hold form, Paul. So Aubrey was assessing the portfolio of his parliamentarians, and the parliamentarians are assessing the portfolio of Aubrey Norton. So at the head of their team that they want for 2025 is Mr. Ford, not Mr. Norton. So careful, Aubrey. You reshuffling and somebody might shuffle you completely out of the shadow cabinet. So be careful, right? So Aubrey also spoke to some claims that he did not consult with his colleagues before making the decision. And he alleged that there was engagement with his fellow members of parliament. However, reliable sources would have informed me that this is not so, right? This is not so. Some of these persons did not know about the reshuffle. And mind you, where's this thing? Mind you, these are some of the persons here, like Christopher Jones and these people. They're senior members of the PNC. Senior members of the PNC. Now, they have now Aubrey Norton is saying that he had pointed out at the during the last budget that he had identified areas that needed changing in portfolios. And I personally think that this is just to make persons feel that this wasn't an impulse decision. And I feel like also it is to cover up the fact that he moved German Figueroa. So you want to make it look like, hey, it's not just German reshuffling everybody, but you reshuffle German because he shake the president hand. And now it's looking bad. You're acting like if you had this in your mind all the time. To have this shake up, which it's not so up. Y'all are imploding in the PNC. Pam saying I hear I saw Paul on a live, but not mine. Not mine. I did done with Paul since Paul tell me I didn't want to live stream the Afro Guyanese soldiers funeral when they passed. And I thought that was the limit for me. So I blocked Paul. So I don't see him around anymore on these lives and things like that. I didn't have time for the nonsense. I thought that was very foolish. And I really took offense to it because the only funeral I broadcasted was Mike Charles' funeral. And the rest didn't get broadcast because I was out in the field working. I can't do it if I'm in the field, you know? So certain people don't have understanding. Now, y'all remember Gita and Aubrey not getting along. So Gita get moved from Home Affairs and he put back Kemraj. Right? Now, here's the reason for putting back Kemraj is the fact that Kemraj was the former minister. Right? Now, here's my thing. You're putting people who have horrible track records at the ministry, horses and dogs to help with the crime. Mr. Hall, your ass. Right? That's who you think is the best person. The man who had our national animal sling up on the wall, well skinned and nail up on the wall. When self-signing check cat use had to go and say, man, he take down the thing, but it's the national anthem. Sorry, national animal. Sorry, it be a national anthem. Some little opposition there. Sorry, people. But this is our national animal. That is the person you think is best. You have nobody else in the PNC. You could have tried to bring James Bond back in the fold. Put he there. You got nobody else in there younger with good vision to look at the Home Affairs Ministry and see what's going on in the shadow position. You had nobody else who could have seen a clear and straight path in the Home Affairs Ministry. Huh? And Stephanie, yes, that is the kind of thing that indeed keeps them in the opposition. But what I'm saying is there's nobody else that wouldn't have had some kind of cross vision for the Home Affairs Ministry that you could have put there. But and Pam, I agree, James wants nothing to do with them. But I'm saying, where is the emphasis on youth? Kemraj Ramjitan had his time. Look at all the allegations of corruption at the Home Affairs Ministry under Kemraj Ramjitan. $1 million gun license and them kind of thing. And that is the best person you can find. I hear he had a duty-free scandal too with vehicle. That's the best person you could find, R.P. Norton. There's nobody else in the AFC and the PNC that are able to represent and look over in a shadow position the Home Affairs Ministry. Kemraj Ramjitan? No, man. Yeah, it's a slap in the face of the young people of your party. You understand me? Kemraj had his time. Kemraj did stupidness with his time. He made no impactful change to any of the joint service, the branches of the joint services. Nothing. We probably got 5 drones. But hey, what are we going to do? Right? Nothing. They got no young military officer or something that you got in there that could represent at Home Affairs. Slap in the face of the young people of that party. Slap in y'all face. Right? So, as I said, Geeta Chandan has been moved away from Home Affairs. Kemraj Ramjatan has replaced her, and it was cited, his experience was cited as the reason for the replacement. Ms. Chandan Edmonds has been shifted to the governance portfolio. Right? So in the PVP, they got one person who is looking after governance and parliamentary affairs. And in the PNC, they got busted in two. You see what I'm trying to show you there? The mere fact that one, Christopher Jones is the chief whip. Christopher Jones is a seasoned politician. He should handle these portfolios. You understand? So what is Geeta focusing on? If Christopher Jones is the chief whip, we should focus in on governance of who? No, this is the part that really confused me. R.B. Norton said, or he assured the MPs, that they will be able to speak on issues related to their previous post despite the portfolio change. Now, how did that even make any sense? I move you from a portfolio for whatever reason, right? I am moving Geeta Chandan Edmonds from Home Affairs because, oh my gosh. Welcome to the live, Miss Candice Nelson. Good morning to you. But yeah, so Geeta know. This girl threw me off of what I was talking about. That's bad. I ain't like it. But like I was saying, so Geeta now is at governance. Kemraj Ramjatan is at Home Affairs. But Geeta Chandan Edmonds decides that she wants to comment or feels like she still needs to comment on Home Affairs. What's the purpose of Kemraj Ramjatan if she's still commenting on Home Affairs? You don't see a waste in the time in Parliament? Why the two of y'all commenting on the same thing? That is not your purview anymore. So why would you want to move somebody yet still have them focusing or paying attention enough for them to comment on their previous portfolio? Right? Or is she to comment on Kemraj Ramjatan's handling of her previous portfolio? I don't know. Norton needs to explain. Right? Now, he's claiming that this reshuffle is an opportunity to bring more institutional knowledge, implying that changes may lead to more informed opposition. Comrade, if you are informed about simple maths, right? Simple maths, Christina Sherwin Holder, ask the Sherwin Holder, they put Sherwin Holder at Island Gas. Y'all remember Sherwin Holder and the calculation he made the other day? Shout out to Carla Daniels on the live, big up the Maracaibo people. You understand? They put Sherwin Holder on Island Gas. Sherwin Holder give you a calculation the other day that a lot of people brain almost fried because they're like, what, where you get it from? Error. This does not compute. So you gonna put a man like Sherwin Holder, you could tell he lacking confidence. And to tell you the truth, I doubt he knows much about oil and gas. So what is he supposed to be doing there? But then again, you got to look at it from both sides of the coin. We had the Pistolero there. The Pistolero was the shadow minister for oil and gas, right? And he has been moved from there and sent to infrastructure. Now, with a track record, the Pistolero got in the Ministry of Public Works. Back then, it was called Infrastructure. Right? It is, listen, I can't even tell y'all how barefaced you have to be to have a name like David Patterson. David Patterson is one of the most barefaced persons in the world. Y'all remember when David said you don't wear them band and the picture show up with you with the people them gold band at the buy for he? David is so dishonest and corrupt. He overpaid for the GPL them trucks. Oh my goodness. David is so dishonest and corrupt. David paid the full amount to the advisor to the PNC at the 2015 election to provide scales for the Demerara Harbor Bridge. Right? David provided full payment. Y'all know up to now, the new bridge don't start build and we can get them scales yet. Up to now. And David Patterson, Kemraj Ramjatan, and these people who did the worst in government 2015 to 2020, taking reshuffling. Reshuffling? Y'all should shuffle out to the parliament. Because y'all like past people, the Guyanese, but I'm even talking about your colleague members of parliament. Y'all past Guyanese people in general, because y'all know Guyanese know what you did. Especially people like David Patterson. David Patterson collect the money. It's either from the harbor, bridge or transport and harbor. Collect the people money to go on trip. And these people talking about corruption, friends and family. David Patterson should be ashamed to go back and have anything to do or say about public infrastructure in this country. David Patterson, as a former infrastructure minister, just like Morning Tara Sir Brian, just like the Guyanese hypocrite, a former infrastructure minister, cannot say to you, during my tenure, this is one of the major infrastructural projects, and point to it, and show anybody, none of you, not even me. These people went into office in 2015. They had 23 years to prepare. And in those 23 years of preparing, they came into office in 2015 and showed Guyanese that their preparation was not worth the paper it was printed on. And guess what? It wasn't printed on paper because they had no plan. They had no plan. Granger wanted to clean up, indeed. You understand me? But besides that, they had no plan. And that's what people need to remember. That's what people need to remember. So, in relation to the rest of the reshuffles, as everybody would know, German Figueira is kicked off of Culture, Youth and Sport. And mind you, German Figueira, and I said this earlier, these reshuffles here are just to cover up that they boot German Figueira. Because if you notice, everybody else who was shifted or reshuffled was shuffled to another portfolio. German Figueira is the only MP who gets shuffled or reshuffled. Matter of fact, no. You can't say German Figueira get reshuffled. Because if you get reshuffled, you get moved from one place to the other. He was just shuffled out of the system. So, Gita is moved from Home Affairs to Governance. Kemraj Ramjitan, I guess he was Governance, he moved to Home Affairs. You have Natasha Singh Lewis, who had the education portfolio, who has been moved to Labor. No, sorry. She has switched with Coretta McDonald. So Coretta McDonald has education now. And then we got Mr. Dineshwar Jai Prasad, who has been placed at Labour. Christopher Jones is now shadowing the parliamentary affairs portfolio, right? And David Patterson has been moved from oil and gas infrastructure, right? Now everybody else get moved from one place to the next. Jeremy just there. And mind you, this is all because Jeremy Figueroa was being a human being. Any human being, right? Any human being would shake a hand. Even if it's somebody that you and them don't really get along, out of showing maturity, or at least mature adults operate in that fashion. To show maturity, to show, well, hey, I could be the bigger person. You understand? You might see a enemy or a foe, and they come to you, not hostile, but in a peaceful manner. You shake a hand. You're not necessarily all are friends. It don't mean y'all necessarily agree on everything, but it shows that as an individual, Nirmala Mahipal going to TSU. Mahipal going TSU. This is where Mahipal going, TSU. He in charge of TSU. I don't know going on in there, but Nirmala, that's where Mahipal is going. I hear he has some sort of affinity for these TSU ranks. I don't know what it is. TSU ranks on Baigan. But yeah, right? But look, enough of that. Let me head over to the press conference from the General Secretary. So right off the bat, the General Secretary had to express how to put it by based on the statements Mr. Loeb made about inflation, it raised concerns about his economic understanding. So the GS stated that it shows that even like the rudimentary understanding of economics, Mr. Lowe might need to go back to the books or Goldman Sachs or wherever he came from. You understand? Because Elson Lowe is a funny guy. Listen, I'd like you all to go and check out the debate between Elson Lowe and Joel Bagudin that the University of Guyana Student Society had facilitated. Please go and check it out. You hear me? Please look at the question and answer segment when the students, especially young man from St. Stanislaus, asks the question and listen to the responses given. Elson Lowe is like Cathy Hughes. They try to use an accent to make you think they're super smart. You understand me? But it's not smart when you're signing checks to your own company. It shows a lack of knowledge because you know that's wrong. And even if you're doing something wrong, you got to do it a little smarter than that. Right? Now, the GS also spoke of the opposition's lack of record and lack of plans. There is nothing that happened or when the opposition came into power in 2015, there were a lot of ideas that were floated in their manifesto. But in terms of getting these ideas that they put forward in their manifesto and turning them into actual benefits to Guyanese, there was no plan for that, right? So instead of having a Because We Care grant that benefited at least 90% of the population, you had a bus service, right? That only touch some of the areas. And I maintain this. Let's use the East Coast or East Bank, anyone. Think about it, right? Children got to get to school for 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 1 out today. I ain't been in school in a while. I think let's go to school for 8. Now, I am asking a Tortosita bus, how many students this bus can pick up between 7 and 8 to make sure these students are at school on time, right? Let me say the bus walking from Tamari, picking up children, coming down to town. How many children the Tortosita could pick up? How many cases we've heard that the Tortosita buses used to pass certain communities that were perceived not to be opposition supporters? So there was room for discrimination and marginalization, something that the opposition tends to talk about a lot now, right? But guess what? Minister Malik Chan, along with our president and cabinet, decided, hey, we will bring back the Because We Care grant. We will extend it to students in private schools too. And guess what? We can't skip the school and go to the next school in the next village. We can't skip the Afro-Guyanese student and give it to all the Indo-Guyanese students alone. This thing here will be transparent. So we got all the parents coming one time to collect. Every school got their own distribution, and there is no way to discriminate in relation to that. So that benefit that is being given to the Guyanese students is across the board. Not some getting and some getting. Not some getting pick up and some getting pick up. Everybody getting the grant. And if there's a child that did not get the grant, that is on your parent who didn't go and collect it on your behalf. Because once you're in school registered, the ministry catered for you. Right? The ministry catered for you. So, the good life, none of us saw it between 2015 to 2020. We didn't even see it starting to take shape. Now, the GS also pointed out the economic challenges during the 28 years of the PNC, right? And a lot of people on this live here right now are persons who would have left this country during that period because of all the foolishness and economic idiocy practiced by Burnham. So yesterday I was telling you about Apostle London and him referencing Burnham and who could talk to Burnham and who could this. Afros, Indos, Amerindians, Portuguese, Chinese, all of them were running, sir. All of them were running. So if you're claiming that Burnham did a good thing by building the Linden Suicide Highway, he run people out of the country so they couldn't even get to drive on it. That's what I remember. He run people out of this country. Right? What were the achievements during that period? A ridiculous amount of debt left on this country. Now, whilst we were a third world country at that time, we were one of the poorest in the world, or probably the poorest in the world. So I don't know what kind of management Burnham had going on. And mind you, I didn't live through that period. I get the information just like everybody else from books, people who been alive during the time. And I was told on multiple occasions from multiple people who have no affiliation with each other that a lot of those things that Burnham implemented on Guyanese, restricting this, restricting that, he didn't implement on himself. So whilst Guyanese was using rice flour, Burnham was getting the nice flour flying to he, for he and his family enjoy. You understand? I have been told that by multiple persons, apples and grapes and all them things that they didn't want in the country, he was enjoying them. He was enjoying them. So when they talk about Jagdeo and dictatorship and Irfanalian dictatorship, look at Burnham. You have people running from this country now? Do you have people running from this country now? You got Guyanese fighting up to get back here. You got foreigners want to fight down Guyanese. You understand me? To establish business and get into their own country. And y'all talking about President Ali. Y'all talking about former President Jagdeo. I maintain most of the modern infrastructure in Linden is under the PPP. Block 22, Amelia's Ward, desalinization plant, all the concrete schools in Linden, public, all, every single one. And in that 5 years, they could not have decided to build a new one. I think they did. I'm not sure. I don't know who did that rehab work on LTI. But I'll say this to you. It started after the no confidence motion. So when these same people like to sit and talk about the government bribing people and the government bribing people, y'all know when they kick into action? After Charan Das. After Charan Das. That is when they kick into action and decide that they want to try and do things for people. The president spoke about this in Linden. After Charan Das, that is when they kick up and decide, oh, we want to do road. We might want to build a bridge. You want to give away land. But guess who they get land to? Not the people in Linden. Not the people in Linden. They give it to Blowing Field so you can make sure they stay in office to thief up the money again. To steal up the money again. That's the truth. That is the long and short of it. So under Barnum's tenure, there's a shortage of food. There's a shortage of jobs. And there's a shortage of social services. Right? BAPS. We said, all right, let me give them a chance again. Under Granger tenure, shortage of food, shortage of jobs, and social services. So, listen, we have identified the nature of the Congress Place beast. We have identified the nature of the Congress Place beast. And the beast continues to show us its face. And some of us decide that, hey, I ain't gonna recognize this beast. I'm gonna let you bite me again. Well, if that is what some persons might want to do, y'all can try within a corner. The GS went on to talk about the instances of constitutional violations during the APN News tenure, including the refusal to honor the no confidence motion. Right? Now, let us be clear. There was a no confidence motion against Donald Ramotar. Right? There was a no confidence motion against Donald Ramotar. That's so. No, it didn't go to vote. There was supposed to be a no confidence motion against Donald Ramotar. The Donald Ramotar administration decided to take a legal path. A legal path that is provided for in the Constitution, the laws of Guyana, to prorogue the parliament. And at the end of the day, it had a similar effect to the no confidence motion because it triggered national elections. Right? It triggered national elections. Now, these vagabonds, after coming into office, doing all sorts of foolishness, disenchanting their own members of parliament to the point where they say, you know something? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. To the point where their own MP said yes, yes, yes. Right? And then got tore around and vexed with the man. But again, we see the differences in how the PPP managers and the PNC managers. Now, the GS went on to talk about how the opposition, whilst in office, handled projects. Now look at how they are dealing. Look at how the government is look at how the government handled the New Demerara River crossing, right? Look at the processes that they went through, in the tendering, the no objection from the financing organizations and that kind of thing. Now look at Pistolero in front of the court for unsolicited bids. What's wrong with Patterson? Patterson name always calling in something. You understand? Why Patterson can't walk the straight and narrow? Well, you gotta see straight and narrow to walk it. But try, brother. Build two rail on the side there or something for keep you on the straight and narrow, brother. What you doing? You understand? Patterson name always calling in something. This man, look, I don't know. Here, if I had all them allegations against me, especially as a former minister of government, I'd hold my car now. You understand me? But you could find this man drunk about the place. Here. Patterson, there's none other. Patterson, people like Annette Ferguson, those persons come around once in a lifetime. You're gonna get nobody else like them. You ain't gonna get a soul else like the two of them. Right? Now, the GS also discussed the rapid growth in taxation during the APNU's time in power. And we all know about the hardships, especially those who live here. When y'all visit from the diaspora, y'all feel the squeeze because you want to know what's going on. But we who live here knew. So the tax in water, electricity for all people. They put back VAT on a set of food items. The taxing, oh gosh, they raised the duty on vehicles. They raised the licensing fees. Oh my gosh. Oh me mama. That's what I want to say. Oh me mama. That's how bad it was. Fisherman, horse, catman, everybody crying out. Everybody crying out with the fees that they raise. And they talking about management. The APNU collected over 80 billion from the increase in taxes, right? $80 billion. And this, Paul, them used to ask about the 214 million. Let me see hold on. Let me check this thing. How much is 80 billion Guyanese dollars in US? Let me check. Hold on. If anybody tell me in the comments. I'm not a mathematician and I don't like to do that guesswork like a man's on there. Okay. So they talk about the 214 with Exxon and this and that. The coalition collect 80 billion US, which is 382,589,280 dollars. Right? US. 80 billion Guyanese dollars is US 382,589,280 dollars. and Paul, what we have to show about that? What do we have to show for the $80 billion in taxes that were levied from the Guyanese population, 2015 to 2020? We have anything of significance to show that Guyanese benefit from this money that they're collecting? We have to show a 50% increase in MP salary, right? I can't remember how much was the dietary, but they went on at a rate with the fruiter and the stuffed eggs. Get down for a slap you. Yeah. At a rate with the fruit and the stuffed eggs. Guys, this is Aidan, and he just being discussed. Say morning to everybody. Yeah. Trouble. But yeah, you understand? Dietary gone till up. They're taking trips all over the place. And they're talking about 214. And we need to add from that 300 plus million I talk about, you got the 18 million US still. So it's more than the 214. That everybody, that Paul and these people talk. Yes, for Rose Eden. Yes, for Rose Eden. I hope they tell you about what happened at the airport for Rose. But yes, Eden. But yeah, right? Yeah. So y'all understand what people trying to tell y'all. They're lamenting about 214 million when they collect 300 plus million US. You understand? 300 plus million US. Not from any bank, not a loan, but taking it in the Guyanese people. And guess what? The Guyanese people had nothing to show. They didn't have a Heroes Highway. They didn't have a completed airport. They didn't have a completed East Coast Road. They didn't have a new stadium going up at Palmyra. They didn't got a new hospital going up at New Amsterdam. They didn't have a new bridge at the Demerara Wisma crossing. They could not start the Linden to Mabura Road. They couldn't get the call center reopened. They couldn't open up no new lands to do housing for young professionals. They couldn't give any grants to young business persons who need little help. Nothing. They couldn't do nothing. They couldn't do nothing. I'm talking about 214. When y'all got almost 400, you got to say 400 million. You got to say 400 million. Right? So these people are the last person should be speaking about anything in relation to corruption, and especially the prudent management that this government has been showing in relation to its actions and transparency in its operations. Are we even getting to the attempts to steal the elections yet? Right? We didn't even get to the attempt to steal the elections yet. We have seen progress in terms of infrastructure across this country since the Irfan Ali-led administration has been elected to office. The Demerara River crossing has started. The Gas to Shore project started. The Hero Highway continuing till to Suzdijk. Most it complete. You could get from Mandela to Diamond in about 8 minutes. WAP movements. Right? We're seeing a new headquarters to the A division going to be started. All these community roads that are done. All the persons who have benefited from the gold program. The gold program and the fact that they have already hit their target and have surpassed it. You understand? Look at the housing program. All those persons who get in house lad getting distribute so much till TikTok auntie, like she working housing now. She working the complaints department at housing. That's how much house lad going out right now. Right? That's how much house lad going out right now. And they plainly could talk about this government. What are we comparing it to, Aubrey Norton, David Granger, Joseph Harmon, Robert Carbon, whoever you want to call? What are we comparing it to? Any PPP presidency. Well, any PPP presidency. What are we comparing it to? 28 or 5, y'all did trash. Trash. And usually the only people who would say they had a good time during that period are those diehard PNC supporters who are usually about 90 or 96 years old, around that age. People who don't stuck in the ways and you can't reason. This is what they follow, this is what they grew up with, so this is dinky. They don't care. Imagine Aubrey Norton said to me at Club Altitude, if Granger listened to me, Jagdio would have been in jail. You don't want to lock up Patterson? You don't want to lock up Patterson? You don't want to lock up Cathy Hughes? You don't want to lock up George Norton? That illegal acts in office? You don't want to lock up Christopher Jones for collecting the leap money? Well, is that illegal? A conflict of interest? Something of the sort. It was distasteful, Chris. Let me leave it at that. It was distasteful. It left us with a bad taste in our mouth about Christopher Jones when he collect that money that could have gone to an entrepreneur who did not receive a 50% salary increase as a member of parliament. Right? That money could have gone to somebody else who needs it. Y'all don't want to, you're talking about Pradoville and them thing. Y'all ever went by Annette? Annette ever invite y'all by she for Christmas or anything? Y'all see Annette plays? How Annette Ferguson, even as a sitting minister with her salary, afford that house there in 5 years? Think about it. Look at Annette's house there on the East Bank. Now, you can't call a house Annette's mansion. I thought Annette was a former president or something when I see the place. Annette's house is the same size like Cde Jones. Right? And that's the honest truth. That is the honest truth. Where Annette get her money from? But you know, the infrastructure ministry got a lot of projects. And sometimes with some of those forces who are sympathetic to the coalition to get a project, you got to kick back. So the same friends, family, and favorites that they talk about is self-praise. They're not talking about the PPP. They're talking about their own actions and how they operate. You understand? Self-praise. Self-praise. Anyway, guys, I got to run. I got some work to do. Like I told you, I got some video. I got some photos that I thought was videos. So I got to figure out how I am going to, oh my God. Anyway, it was really great being here with you guys. Please be safe over the weekend. Don't get into any trouble. Before I go, look how I could forget. Wanted to share this video, this photo here with you. I don't know why it ain't on the screen yet. I probably it's on the screen and I'm just not seeing it, but there it is. Now here is a school at Kwaiko. And I got this information from Minister Manik Chan's page. Now this is a school that the Ministry of Education constructed in Kwaiko, and 40 children from this village would walk 14 miles daily to Shulinab in South Central Rupununi to get to school because of a caring minister, because of a caring government, because your government cares. This school was constructed in the community of Kwaiko. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Quiko, Kwaiko, something like that, right? But those party students, primary school students, won't have to walk 14 miles anymore. They could go to school right in their community. And this is the kind of development people want to see in their community, right? This is the kind of development people want to see in their community. Not David Granger flying till into the interior with green carpet to walk on and all them nonsense. And selling cardboard and them stupidness that people see. You understand me? This is the kind of development people want to see. Thing they could feel, they could touch, that can benefit them. And this is the kind of thing the PVP will continue to do for Guyanese because it was elected to do so. Right? So hats off to the minister and the minister's PA. I must shout out the minister's PA. Coretta McDonald, could you imagine a sitting member of parliament on Facebook harassing a personal assistant to the minister? So she cannot deal with Minister Manik-Chan because remember, Minister Manik-Chan is a lawyer by profession. You understand? A lawyer by profession. So when Coretta comes with your flimsy arguments, Minister Manik-Chan will share licks, wax. She can't take it. So she jumped off of the minister and decided to attack the minister PA. But little did she know. Little did she know. The PA mouth hot too. And the PA, they able. Just like people like me. We ready to roll with you. You want to make a point, we got a point to make as well. Let me see who could get it over better. So I ain't gonna call your name and put you out there. But hats off to you, young lady. And I love how you defended your position. With a wretch like Coretta McDonald, who ain't really doing nothing impactful, ain't representing teachers' rights as a big GTU head or executive. You understand me? Them people could normal. Look. I love how, I want to put all the lady name out there. But the lady dig it in her Coretta, the PA. Drop it in her, she disrespectful. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'm leaving you with the songs of Akeem Padmore Evans. This is the One Guyana Calypso tribute. I want to start digging up Guyanese music, right? So if you guys have any Guyanese tunes you want me to play, you could send them to me. Once they got copyright issues, because that's messed up on YouTube. That's why I stopped playing a lot of the Guyanese songs that you guys are accustomed to hearing here on the morning. Nevertheless, that's all the time I have for today. Really wonderful being here with you. Guys, go out there, be productive, be safe this weekend. We will be back here on Monday. Remember, Monday is also budget 2024. We're going to know how the money is spent. We will hear the plan of the PPP. Let me stop this music. We will hear the plan of the PPP for 2024, right? The PPP is presenting its budget for 2024 on Monday. Ask City Hall, that is run by the PNC, when they can present their budget. That's all I got to say. Y'all have a good day. Be good, Guyanese. Peace, love, One Guyana.
It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we suffer. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election. Believe it or not, Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key. We are all one, and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that